Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional health, and coaching paradigm. We do that as often as we can, usually several times per week. We get over 1,100 of these um, that you can listen to. Would love your input. Please like, subscribe, comment below, all that good stuff. And as we move forward, this is kind of uh, certainly a life lessons series continuation. These are truths that life tries to teach us that we oftentimes don't want to pay attention to. If you are dealing with something that's difficult or just processing emotions in a new way, we'd love to be of assistance to you in that way. We can continue to move forward directly. So the first thing is the realization that there is no such thing as forever. We all have finite lengths of time. And so it is important to realize, recognize, and acknowledge within ourselves that we have limitations. We have things that ultimately um, should matter to us, but also we've got to be real about the fact that something can happen to any person at any time. So valuing their contributions to our life, valuing the value of our relationships, focusing on building relationships in a meaningful way is one of the most important things we can do. Um, not don't be fake about things. I know a lot of people get tied up in that what's socially acceptable versus what's not, or what they think a person can handle. It is your responsibility as an individual of honor to try to find ways to express what you're thinking, feeling, and experiencing in a loving but honest way. Dishonesty is only going to lead to problems in relationships in the future anyway. So choosing to be dishonest is not one of those things that ultimately is going to lead you in a directive way. And ultimately, it comes down to, how do we begin to be smarter about it? How do we begin to look at things in a smarter way? How do we begin to connect on a deeper way and know how to do that in a way that makes sense for us? And that can get kind of frustrating. That can get kind of overwhelming for lots of reasons. But when we begin to do that, we then begin to ultimately um, get things going in a positive way. Next thing there is risk factor. So understanding risk factor is one of the most important things in the world to do. We must understand that risks are necessary in order to make progress. Every time we take an action, there is at least some moderate to major, depending on the situation, level of risk. Becoming completely risk averse means we will miss out on many things in life. Risk aversion is not useful or helpful, but it is going to lead us to self protection. So there are times that being risk averse can be beneficial for a short span of time, but in the long run, risk aversion isn't going to be truly beneficial because you'll get to a place where you've kind of stagnated and your life has gone as far as it can go without taking some level of risks. Taking intelligent risks, that is, knowing how to connect with the strengths and weaknesses of any risk we take is important. Taking care of your physical body, that means getting the proper level of rest, getting the proper level of exercise, getting the proper level of sleep is important as well. Sometimes we take our body for granted without even realizing it, and then we get into situations where we have physical illness. Almost every physical illness is a result in one way or another of not taking care of ourselves in the way we need to. And oftentimes that can be problematic because a lot of people say, I don't have a choice. There's always choices. We may not like the choices that are in front of us, but there's many times when we have choices that we don't want or don't need, and that becomes problematic for a number of reasons. When we begin to ultimately, connect, it would be beneficial and it would be useful to get where we need to be and ultimately get to the bottom line of how to move forward. Hopefully, this is helpful. I encourage you keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.